I'm back with my 21-week pregnancy update. I just flipped over to 21 weeks. I'm filming this again just a tiny bit earlier than I usually do. My post these on Wednesday. I usually film them on Tuesdays, and my flip day is on Sundays. I'm filming this on Monday today because we are flying home tomorrow, and I would otherwise not have time to film the video from our long stint out here in the Utah house with the family. It's been so nice. It's gone by really, the last week in particular has gone by really fast. Which is actually pregnancy related, because I felt like the first 20 weeks of the pregnancy like crawled by. And I think that's because I was, the first trimester anxiety, and then with the first half of the second trimester just waiting for baby to feel baby. And then the last week I shared with you that I finally felt her. There's no we. Dawn can't feel her yet. It's not strong enough. It's barely strong enough for me to feel her. And I'm going to talk about that in a little bit later. But since then, the last week, it's amazing to me how time has picked up, or it seemed, it's all relative, whatever. But yeah. I like, lots of people say at the 20-week mark, time starts to fly by after that point. And I was like, oh, well, that's kind of interesting that so many people say that, and it's such a common experience. But I've already experienced it, and it's just 1 week post the halfway mark. So, time flip. As usual, I have my little list here so I don't forget anything. I'm going to go through the regular stats at the beginning here. I'm going to answer some of your questions in the middle. And at the end, I show you anything I've purchased or have been gifted. I like to keep that at the end because I know some people don't care for that part. So regular stats. This past week, I did not gain any weight, which doesn't concern me because I gained the 2 pounds last week, which was, for basically my entire second trimester, I've gained 1 pound a week. Almost the entire, yeah. And then last week I gained 2, and this week I gained 0, so it averages out to 1 pound a week. So I'm still just up 12 for the total length, which, as far as I know, is right on track. I don't feel like it's too much or too little, so that's good. Bump though is definitely like noticeably grown, and I know this is just going to be a common theme every week from here on out, but it's definitely, baby's getting bigger. She's definitely growing. Right now she is at 21 weeks. This is according to my What to Expect app. She is relatively, comparatively to the size of a medium banana from crown to rump. That's not her whole length if she was stretched out. That's just from her head to the bottom of her tush. So that's about 7 inches, and she weighs about 11 ounces. So we're getting close to the 1 pound mark. She's not there yet, but she's definitely, getting bigger, and I can tell because my belly's getting bigger. But that's I like the little fruit references. It's kind of fun. So this week her nickname is Banana. Apparently, that's the new thing, is we nickname the baby based on what fruit comparison size she is. But in terms of cravings, still milk. It's like every day, sometimes I have more than 1 glass, and these are not small glasses of milk. These are like 10, 12 ounce glasses of milk I'm having. Well, maybe only 10, but I look forward to so much every day. In fact, just talking about it makes me want one right now, but I usually do that in the evening. It's kind of been part of my evening routine. And then also, I've kind of gone back to, in my first trimester, all I really wanted to eat for the first couple of months was Caesar salad. I did eat other things, but that's what I really wanted. That was my first trimester, standout craving. I guess you would call it, yeah, it was definitely a craving because I was definitely craving it. And that's returned. It's in the last week or two. That's basically what I've been eating for dinner almost every night. My husband makes an amazing Caesar salad dressing that's eggless. You're advised to stay away from raw eggs, or really anything raw, dairy or meat when you're pregnant. Just better safe than sorry. There's risk of salmonella or any other issues that might not necessarily hurt the baby, but they could hurt you, which in turn, it's not good for the baby if you're really sick. And you're just more susceptible to those things when you're pregnant because your immune system is down so it doesn't attack the growing child inside of you. I posted a picture on Instagram actually just the other day of my salad, and I got some comments of people worried about the anchovies and wondering if the anchovies, me eating things with anchovies in it, meant that I was over my fish aversion. No, I'm not over my fish aversion, although it doesn't seem as intense, although I still don't want to eat it, but it's not like such a visceral reaction at the moment when I'm thinking about it. But I have never had an aversion to anchovies, and they are definitely on the safe list. I even asked my doctor about them because I was so interested in Caesar salad at the beginning of the pregnancy. But it's actually on the safe list, not something you have to worry about, at least as advised to me by my doctor and in our country. I don't know if these things vary by doctors and by country, so if you're concerned for yourself, I would definitely ask your health practitioner. But it's actually a really good source of something, but I can't remember what it is right now. But if I can find it, I'll write it in. It's a good source of blurg. I don't know what it is. But there's anchovies in the dressing that my husband makes. It's amazing. I love it. And in terms of aversions, again, still the fish, but it's, like I said, I feel like it's a little less intense. And of course, just being around raw meat, I unfortunately had to handle some raw meat the other day, but I just put on really long kitchen gloves and held my nose, and I did it, and it was fine. But it's just not something I like thinking about or being around if I can avoid it. So that's sort of the usual array of things I go through. In terms of symptoms from the past week, I've definitely noticed an increase in just at all. I've been experiencing some itchy skin, specifically on my boobs. Which is really unfortunate because I know you're not supposed to, when your belly or your boobs or any of the areas that typically you would get stretch marks in, I guess, during pregnancy, when those start to itch, you're not supposed to itch them because it can make it worse for stretch marks. I'm going to talk about stretch marks actually in just a second, but I'm not really that concerned about them because I'm expecting them, and it just whatever. If that's the worst of my problems right now, that's fine. But it's only just started, the itchy skin, and it's really just on my boobs, but it's just kind of annoying. I do find that when I apply lotion or an oil, that helps a lot, and I do that twice a day, and I'm going to talk about that in the question section in just a moment. Also, I've been experiencing, I haven't really been having those achy uterus stretching feelings anymore, but I've been feeling increasing amounts of pressure around my lower abdomen, where the bulk of my uterus is right now, I would imagine. And honestly, I'm not exactly sure what that is, but I'm kind of guessing it's baby moving around, because I really don't have a lot of experience with distinct kicking from her yet. I think she's just still too small, and with my placenta being an anterior placenta, which means it's between me and the baby on the front side of my uterus, that's just another, that's not dangerous or anything at this point. It's perfectly normal. It's just another thing, like a barrier that prevents me from feeling her more distinctly. So I wonder sometimes if that pressure that I get sometimes is her rolling around. It's not painful. It's not even uncomfortable. It's just noticeable. I know at this point in pregnancy, you can start experiencing Braxton-Hicks, which is just your belly kind of tightening. And it's not supposed to be really anything like real contractions. It's just kind of your body kind of practicing. But I'm not sure if that's what that is. I'm going to ask my doctor. I see my doctor this week. But what I was going to say about the movements is I do, since I last updated you last week, I have felt her every single day, but it is very, very subtle, and I often find myself second guessing if that's what I'm feeling or if it's just something else. It is so subtle. It's still just a very, very faint tapping, and it doesn't last very long, and it's not very often, and it doesn't seem to be in any particular time of day, because I've been reading that baby starts to get on a schedule now with sleeping and waking cycles, and I'm well, I just don't know yet because I can't feel her. So I'm so happy that I can feel her. I just wish I could feel her more, and I know, I just have a feeling I'm gonna be eating those words at week 34 when she's kicking me in the ribs constantly, but you know what, I'll take it. I feel like it would just make me feel even more confident. we are seeing the doctor this week. I have my 20-week scan. They were doing it just a week late. It's 21 weeks because I've been out of town, but my doctor said that was fine. And this is the long ultrasound. It's like a half an hour ultrasound where they measure every visible part of the body, of the baby's body, through via ultrasound to check for normal growth and stuff like that. So I'm both excited to see her again, but also a little nervous because, you just want your children to be born, as healthy as possible. And it's just always a little nerve-wracking when it's another test or something to do to check for that kind of thing. But mostly I'm very excited about that. So that will be coming up this week. And I think that's about all that I can update you on in terms of what's been going on. Like I said, time has just kind of flown by. We're gearing up to go home. And then we're only home for a week, and then we're flying off again for our baby moon / anniversary trip in Hawaii. But I think I'm going to talk more about that next week because it'll be a little bit more topical. Okay, every week I ask you guys to leave questions for me in the comments if you have any, and to just keep leaving your question if I haven't gotten to it yet, because I can only answer a handful per video, or these videos would be like a million hours long. So I picked ones that I felt topical for this week, and also that seemed popular. So I was asked if I'm doing anything to talk about any body changes in terms of like stretch mark prevention and things like that. So yes, obviously my body is growing, especially in my front, primarily in my front upper half. So my belly is obviously getting bigger, and my breasts continue to grow, although that growth is much more subtle than the bump growth. So I have been from the beginning moisturizing like crazy, because one of the first pregnancy symptoms I had that has remained consistent throughout this entire journey has been drier skin. I generally tend towards, I have combination skin like from head to toe. So in the winter months I tend to be very, very dry, and in the summer months I tend to be pretty oily, like all of me. But I've been pretty dry even though we've been in the summer, and we're well into summer now. In fact, we're getting to the end of it. So just since the beginning, I've been making a point to moisturize more heavily. And in the second trimester, I've made more of an effort to focus some special moisturization on my belly and my breasts and like my hips and my tush and my lower back and all the places that, you're more prone to stretch marks. Now, honestly, I'm really not concerned about stretch marks. I just think I'm going to get them because I already have some on my outer upper thighs. I've had those since I went through puberty, when my body started storing most of its fat in my legs, in my thighs. So, and they're really faded now. They're white and you really can't see them, but I just know that my skin is prone to them, and I'm just expecting them, and honestly, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, if that's the worst thing that happens, that would be, pretty easy sailing, and it's just, honestly, it's not a concern. But that being said, I want to be comfortable, and I want my skin to be moisturized, so I have been, making an effort there. So I've been really enjoying my Pacifica body butters over the course of the first 2 trimesters. This is what I use every day after I get out of the shower. I'm a morning shower person, so after I exercise, I shower. And I use this from not from head to toe. Not really, but I use it on my legs and my arms and my back. And then lately, because my skin's been getting even drier, and my upper back, I've never used to even really moisturize that because I can't reach it. But even in the last week, I've been having my husband help me apply a little lotion back there too, because it's just getting kind of itchy, to be honest. And then since the second trimester, and then I used that all over in the first trimester, like my belly, my breasts, everywhere. But since I flipped into the second trimester at the beginning of the summer, or midsummer, I suppose that was, I've been using different products on those specific areas, just that pack more of a punch. So I still use the Pacifica on my extremities, but then I've been using, in the morning, I use Mama B belly butter on my belly and on my breasts and on my lower back and my upper thighs and my tush. And I really like this. It's a Burt's Bees product. This is my first jar. I still haven't gone through all of it yet. I feel like a little of this goes a long way, but I do double up on my belly because my belly soaks this in. Like, it's unbelievable how quickly it soaks this in. I don't have any stretch marks from pregnancy as of yet, but like I said, I'm just gonna kind of expect them and not get too concerned about it. I've also been oiling my body at night ever since the first trimester. So I put these on the floor because I don't want to put them on my in-laws' nice couch here because they're a little oily. But first trimester into the second, I was using the Honest Company Organic Body Oil. It has really good ingredients in it. I use this right before bed. I was doing my whole body basically. Oops, sorry, my phone just buzzed. And that I did all throughout since I've known I was pregnant and my skin got super dry through the second trimester. And I've actually just about finished. I think this is my second or third bottle of this. When I flipped into the second trimester, I started using, just like with my lotion, my morning lotion, with my evening oil, I started using a specific maternity product for those kind of specific areas. While I still use this on my extremities, I've been using this on my belly and my breasts and my, all those places I just mentioned, my lower back and my tush and all that. And this is the Mother's Special Blend Safe All Natural Skin Toning Oil. This is definitely much more oily. Like, this absorbs really fast. The Honest Company oil just absorbs super fast into the skin, but it's a little bit lighter. This is definitely heavier oil. It's almond oil, coconut oil, cocoa butter, and vitamin E. It is very, very, like, I don't know, can you call an oil thick? I suppose you can, but it really, really works. Additionally, I do have the Mama B oil. I can't remember exactly what it is, but I'll have a little picture of it swoop in because I don't have it here. I have it at home. And I was just using that kind of as a special once in a while thing. But I feel like that's going to replace my Honest Company oil as like my full body oil because it's just as we get into fall and my skin's going to get drier and drier. And I can tell it is because I'm getting itchy. So that's what I've been doing for that. That was a really long-winded answer to that, but I wanted to share those products with you guys because I have been enjoying them. And like I said, I haven't had anything happen with stretch marks yet, but we'll see. Okay, question number 2. Are you planning on filming during your labor and delivery, I suppose? And the answer is no. I will not be vlogging my labor and delivery. And I know that already because I already know that I don't want really any more people than necessary to experience that with me. My husband obviously is going to experience that with me, but I'm hoping not to have to involve too many other people other than medical professionals. I just think it's a private thing and it's something that I feel personally private about. I mean, I know a lot of people do share that on YouTube and that all the more power to them. I think it's amazing. And totally, if that's your bag, please do that. But it's not my bag, and I'm not going to do that. But the third question, am I going to do a baby introduction / labor story video? Yes, I do plan on recapping for you guys. That has always been something I've planned on doing, and we will introduce you to baby girl at that time. So I'm assuming Don will be in that video for at least part of it because he'll probably remember things that I don't remember from the labor and delivery, although I don't know, he might not. I tend to have a better memory about those sorts of things than he does, but I figure that's a video that he and I will film together so we can introduce you to baby girl, and also I'll share my experience then. But don't count on any vlog style footage from my experience. We might, there might be some pictures that I take or whatever that aren't, you know, just like checking into the hospital or, you know, being in the bed or after she's born, but not any of the actual process. That's just a little bit more sharing than I feel comfortable doing. But I think a lot of you guys can understand that. And I will be sharing my experience via recap. Okay, so that is it for the usual content. And then at this point in the video, I usually share anything that we've bought, either for myself or for the baby that's pregnancy, baby related, and then any gifts we've received. So we did buy one little thing. We went to brunch this past weekend up at Stein Eriksen Lodge at Deer Valley. It's out here in Utah. And we bought a couple of things to leave out here in the baby's room. This little book. This little board book, If I Were a Bunny, and it's by the Jellycat brand, which I really like the animals from. They're just really nice quality stuffed animals. We just thought this was a cute kind of touch and feel book, and I love how it has a little tail attached to it. They have this for a lot of different animals. We picked the bunny one. We also have the owl one already here that was given to me as a gift a long time ago, so we have 2 of those in the collection. And we bought a little friend for baby girl. This is a little pig. I also have an owl and a monkey Jellycat animal that live out here. So we have 3 little toys already for baby, probably to play with when she's a little older, but they'll be cute to kind of prop out in the nursery when she's just a babe. But I thought the pig was cute and kind of went. I mean, the owl and the monkey aren't really like Utah themed, but the pig is. So I thought that was sweet. And that's all we've purchased this week. Sadly, the nursery didn't come together all the way as I had hoped it would with the furniture being delivered. I talked about this last week. I don't know if I updated you. If you watched my vlog from yesterday, you'll know that the furniture, like the two of the pieces that we ordered, kind of got lost in the mail. And I'm still waiting to hear back from Toys R Us on what's happening with that and how they're going to address that situation. But we're leaving now, and I'm not sure what's going to happen. Fortunately, we have people who live out here who can help us in the event that the furniture can be delivered sometime this fall. I would prefer that because I'm just afraid that they're going to discontinue that line, and I really like the furniture I picked out, and it matches the nightstand and everything. It's the changing table. It's actually like a nice dresser, but you can use it as a changing table top, and then a bookcase. So I don't know what's going to happen to that, but I will not have a nursery update video for you guys because there's not so much to share. I'll give you a little panning shot of what we've got right now, but I was hoping to do like a part 1 video, but it just didn't work out. But I'll definitely do a whole tour next year, especially because I'll have it all decked out with like everything, including sheets and towels and any like decor items too, because I was planning on waiting until next year to do that. So there's that, and I haven't been able to access my mail. I know there's going to be quite a bit. Unfortunately, I can't share any with you this week, but I'm going to have a lot of mail to share with you next week. I know because I get an email every time there's a package, and I think there's like 9 packages or something already, which seems like a lot. So my video might be like a little crazy long next week, but that'll be why. And yeah, that is everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Check back next week for another update if you like these. And I hope you are all well. Thanks so much for your kind words and continued support. You guys are just amazing. I hope you are all doing really, really well. And thank you so much for watching. Take care, you guys. Bye.